Hello, my name is Oliver Chairs, and I am giving my presentation for my Millersville Entrepreneurship Practicum course. Today I will be presenting my book my grandfather got me for Christmas this year. It is titled The End of Jobs, Money, Meaning, and Freedom Without the 9 to 5 by Taylor Pearson. Let's start off with a little bit about the author, Taylor Pearson. He's an accomplished writer of not only this book, but also a publication on the internet titled Markets Are Eating the World. The book we will be discussing is very popular on the market, a #1 bestseller, in fact, on Amazon, and on 4 different topics. The book tackles 3 big ideas in business: technology, the overabundance of degrees, and the limitations within a business. First off, we have technology. Technology is a forever advancing thing and is being adapted everywhere globally. One of the biggest things in business right now is technology replacing people in the workforce. There is no competition. Technology is becoming superior to the abilities of people. Communications technology is also making it abundantly more popular to hire people from across the world for a fraction of the cost for what it would cost you to hire somebody in the US. This globalization is making jobs more scarce, and morals aside, it is going to happen. The only way to capitalize on this truth is to become an entrepreneur, which I will discuss later. The next topic we have is the overabundance of degrees. In today's age, it is nearly impossible to get even a blue-collar job without some form of education past high school. Degrees are not so uncommon as they used to be back in the 1940s. The education system practiced today cannot prepare people for what they will face in the real world, because the same textbooks professors teach with become obsolete with the constantly changing business world we see today. How do we combat this? Don't create employees, create entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs have the skills to adapt and understand complex and chaotic systems. Pearson defines entrepreneurs not simply just people who own their own businesses, but people who can adapt, react, and understand complex systems. Next, we will be talking about the limitations in a business. A business can only improve by solving its own limitations. While this seems obvious, we are entering a new era where if you follow the same flow of history, these limits can become hard to see. To elaborate on our transition into a new business era, you have to look where it starts. The world began with farming. Only limit was how much land you owned, so people invested in land, which transitioned power from the Catholic Church to kings who owned the land. Next, we transition to the industrial era. People began investing in capital and banks, and now power transitioned to manufacturers and bankers, like the Rothschilds, who are still one of the richest families in the world. After that, we transitioned to corporations like Apple, IBM, Microsoft, etc. People invested in knowledge. Now, we are currently in another transition into the entrepreneurship era. The only limits to entrepreneurship are opportunities, which are jobs, which are declining from the advancement of technology, as we discussed earlier. A way to find your limits in a business is to use Goldratt's formula. Ask yourself, what's the system, what's the current limit, and what's the obvious way to improve the limit? You can use this formula to any system and increase your output. Finally, we're going to ask ourselves why you should invest in entrepreneurship. With the new era dawning, entrepreneurs must be treated as an asset equal to a resource. There's no way to measure it, but it must become valued. The beauty of entrepreneurship is that anyone can do it. You don't need a college education, and in fact, no college can teach it. The best time to become one is now. Take advantage of the low startup costs that are becoming more common. People are sharing workspaces, so you don't have to buy a whole office building. The internet opens markets and industries 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Technology has made it possible to hire and find people and experts all across the globe. And finally, it is important to remember you don't have to be a CEO to be an entrepreneur. You just need the ability to adapt, react, and understand complex systems. Thank you for watching.